What is up, guys? This is your boy Superior Simmer. Today I have some more information regarding The Sims 4. If you guys like news, updates, and discussions, please hit the sub button. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. I also do have an affiliate link with Instagram to bring you guys cheaper Sims packs. If you guys click the link in the description and type in Sims, you'll see a bunch of deals for The Sims 3. It's $3 and all the DLCs under $10 as well. Again, guys, click the right side of the screen or the link in the description. Without further ado, let's get into the content. Okay, guys, so we just got some more information on the Corruption Awaits expansion pack. This video specifically is going to be giving you guys more details on the pack. Now, not only did we get a new gameplay trailer, there's also a Q&A, which again, I really like that they're doing this because I feel like there's so many things hidden inside these packs. So this definitely is a nice change. Not only that, we also have a blog post on the EA app. It's more or less of the same stuff we've read on the blog post, but it just gives us additional information. So yeah, with the gameplay trailer, the first thing that they introduce is the imaginary friends. Now we also did get a Q&A as well, so I'll be adding that information onto this. Now, one of the first things that we found out is you can age up your imaginary friend once your sim turns into a teenager. I'm not sure if you can do that in the young adult or adult life stage. Maybe they disappear around that time, but I know that you could do that in The Sims 3. Now, keep in mind, once an imaginary friend becomes real, they are just a human sim. They don't come with like any special traits. They're treated as a normal sim. And since they're originally an imaginary friend, they don't have any family ties. So you can do wicked whims with your imaginary friend if you want to. Now, we also do have an image of what the imaginary friends look like when they become real. 2 masculine sims and then 2 feminine sims, and they do wear specific clothing that matches their doll forms, but there is a cheat that you can use to unlock these outfits if you want them for your regular sims. And I said this already, but it is confirmed that only your child can see their imaginary friend. Another child can't see your imaginary friend, and vice versa. Now what's cool too is the imaginary friend is optional gameplay. With The Sims 3, it was kind of like forced on your kid, and the only way you can get rid of it was like putting it in your household's inventory. If I'm not mistaken, they say you can just go into build and buy and then get the imaginary friend. So again, all this imaginary friend gameplay is optional. Now by default, these are the 4 traits for each imaginary friend. So Wild Child with the blue hair is competitive, Crafty Kid with the red hair is creative, Little Monster is the goofball, and then Pretty Pegacorn, she is evil, which is kind of funny because you would think that like the unicorn would be like the good one. Now what's really cool is you can actually change the default personalities of these imaginary friends. I'm just going to call them IF for now on just to keep it short. So if you want the ugly Pegacorn to be a goofball instead of evil, you have that option, and you can also change the names as well. So none of these names are set in stone. You can customize that too. So guys, there's a lot of customization with the IS, which I think is really cool. And of course, there's a bunch of like different movelets as well, depending on what IF they have, and of course their traits. And again, once they are real, you can customize them like any real sim. So if you want to change their gender, their sexual orientation, their hair color, their eyes, you have the freedom to do that, because at that point they're not really an IF, they're just a regular sim. And you can also change the clothing as well, so you have the option to customize them how you like. Now when they do become real, they join the household as a roommate, but your Sims family can adopt them, so you can tell that story too. And again, guys, these are not occults. They don't have special traits. I think they mentioned there's like a mullet when they become real, and they can like try food and like be happy that they're eating real food, but like you're not gonna have like imaginary kids or something. Again, they don't have any special traits. There's nothing that gets passed down if you have kids with them. They're treated as normal sims. I definitely feel like they could have implemented something so it's like, oh, we know that this person used to be like an IF, very similar to like the rebirth system or like the Grimborn trait, you know, that has like that little bit of storytelling, but they decided not to add that in. So I don't know. And once you get the IF doll, you cannot customize the doll. The colors, how they look is already predetermined. You cannot like change the swatch colors or anything like that, but I will say they look really good. Like I feel like they all have, you know, unique personalities. They all look really different. Now apparently there's also requirements for even like interacting with the IF. So you have to buy the doll from build mode, and then the child can play with the doll as normal and then tell it secrets, pour their heart out, and carry it around. Then to like basically animate them, like make them like a real friend. This is before you turn them into a human. You have to have the creativity skill at level 3, be friends with the doll, or your child sim can suffer from loneliness. So the storytelling there where like the doll will be like, oh, this kid needs a friend, and then they'll kind of just like animate themselves. Now I could be wrong, maybe this is a thing, but I think it would have been really cool if the imaginary friend has like the evil trait. You can be super negative with the doll, and that's how it can like come to life. I think having the option to be like really mean to the doll and then it can come to life because it's evil and it likes that would be cool. Like you torment it. I think that definitely could have opened up like different storytelling. So again, like a little bit of missed opportunity, but this is me like just nitpicking like really hard. I think all this is really cool regardless. And they also did mention that evil IFs can teach children how to set fires, which is kind of cool. I hope there's more like evil interactions you can do with the imaginary friend. I hope it's just not that, but yeah, it sounds kind of cool. Now in the trailer as well, we saw like 4 interactions. There's friends to the end, the imaginary boost, say goodbye forever. So I think that's kind of self-explanatory. You're just saying goodbye to the imaginary friend and then send back to imaginary land. In the trailer, it mentioned that the kid will kind of go go off and do its own thing, and then he'll go back to imaginary land. So that makes him turn into a doll again, and then you can just summon him whenever. So the doll is just not going to hover around you all the time. It knows that you need space. This obviously sounds like a really healthy relationship, which is kind of funny. So yeah, there's a lot of options when it comes to like this the social aspect of this. Now, on the A app, there's some additional information I want to go over with you guys. Some of this stuff is kind of similar to what we've covered already, but there is some small stuff added in here. Now there's some other stuff to mention. There is no new death types in this pack. I've seen some people kind of like okay with that because they say there's like so many deaths in the game already. I'm indifferent with it. Like if we get a new death, cool. If we don't, like I think it's fine. There is a new woohoo in the pack, and you can woohoo in any body of water. Now I forgot this person's name, but one of my subscribers mentioned that the woohoo animation is very similar to the one with the hot tub, and that's why I kept saying to myself, why does this look so familiar? So yes, the animation itself doesn't look new, but we can woohoo in a new location. I think we went over this already, but there's also new fitness animations. So with the adventure weights pack, they introduce free weights, allowing Sims to do arm curls. They can also teach a pump it up class or hire a pump it up instructor, and they can also use the new spin bikes. I'm assuming you can also hire an instructor for that because I think we saw that in the trailer. And there's obviously like protein shakes you can make with like the new blender object, and of course like just different beverages as well. Now a really big thing that I've seen a lot of people talk about is the custom venues. So they say with the custom venues, it's a new type of venue that goes beyond the standard venues like bars, museums, and it allows players to set rules and assign roles to the Sims for the venues. Now this is a little bit confusing to me just because we have businesses and hobbies. So I was under the impression that B&H was supposed to replace the community lots that we visit, but it seems like they want to use these custom venues for our Sims to just experience that stuff without going through a business. I don't know how many of you have had a smooth experience visiting your businesses as a visitor, not someone running it, but I've had an okay experience visiting my businesses. I've seen Sims like do the roles that I've signed that business, but again, this to me is obviously like another version of that without the player having to like make a business. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this works with B&H. I've seen so many Simmers talk about the things that they can make with this. Like the customization options for a custom venue will be wild, and again, this is something that has been highly requested for a lot of Simmers, so I can see why people are pre-ordering this pack because of these types of features. Now, they also mentioned how the getaways work. So they said the getaways are customizable experiences for Sims seeking a new thrill. You can do complete relaxation and everything in between. You can set a location or create a custom venue for the occasion. Getaways can be scheduled for any length of time and also can be recurring with a set schedule. You can select the number of Sims attending, so the maximum is 8 Sims, and then assign roles for each of the Sims. You can also add role criteria for the roles assigned to the Sims. So you select role activity, set the role outfit for each of the Sims, and getaways can also be assigned challenges and rules for even more possibilities. So again, this has been a big thing that people have been talking about in the community. It's also the competitions. In the trailer, we saw a bunch of different modifiers. So there's cooking competitions, love competitions, a creativity elimination competition, player choice eliminations, a bunch of different stuff. I didn't mention this in the video, but I did put it in there. The fact that you can do cooking competitions as well, you can have your own Hell's Kitchen in the game, is kind of crazy. I've seen a lot of people get excited just for this feature alone. So again, I'm starting to see why people are pre-ordering this pack. Again, I think people should be boycotting, but again, these are highly requested features, guys. Will it work is the big question. Obviously, I wouldn't count on it just because in the past we've seen major features literally broken on launch. I guarantee you this will be no different. But yeah, on paper, this does sound really cool. And again, quickly, we've talked about this already. There is new traits. So we have the competitive trait. There's kind of like two paths with that. So Sims can be a good sport, or they also mentioned that you can go down a path of being a bad sport with unsportsmanlike behavior. So you can make it Sims like super salty when they lose competitions, which I think is really cool. Then there's also new aspirations. So there's a cool kid on the block. This is a child aspiration. They mentioned having the best collectibles, playing and then winning games like hide and seek and then rock, paper, scissors. Now during stream, I had one of my subscribers, shout out to Pandora's video, mention the fact that the Sim only hides in a box. And it was really funny because like we were talking about it in chat and it seemed like that was the only option for kids to do. It doesn't look like the kids kind of like run around and hide in like different areas or behind like trees or like just objects. It's just the box. So I'm a little bit skeptical with the hide and seek. This is like the second time we've seen this interaction and the kid just hides in the box in both trailers. So again, I wouldn't count on this feature being like mind-blowing for you guys. This might be something really simplistic and basic, unfortunately. But again, it's The Sims 4, so you have to have low expectations. But yeah, it's not looking too good with the hide and seek gameplay from what I've seen so far. And then I honestly do not care about rock, paper, scissors. I honestly thought that was already in the game. So now there also is an adult aspiration called the Critter Hunter. They said with this new nature aspiration allows the entomology aficionado, I might be saying that wrong, Sims to collect, examine, and enthuse about outdoor critters. Sims can use a butterfly collection and paper crafts to complete tasks for this aspiration and achieve the critter enthusiast trait. And then we also have some new skills. So we have the art archery. They said Sims can hone the archery skill by using the new archery bow and target objects to practice their aim. We have paper crafting, so Sims who pick up the paper crafting skill can make paper airplanes, make theme cars, or tell fortunes with the cootie, or tell fortunes with the coochie. Oh, and tell fortunes with the coochie catchers. Ah, shit. I'm gonna have to edit that out. And tell fortunes with the coochie. Oh my god, bro, what are you doing? And tell fortunes with the cootie. God damn it. And tell fortunes with the catchers. Okay, as the skill progresses with the entomology skill, as butterflies flutter about Gibby Point, Sims can catch the butterflies with a net and hold them in the new terrarium. Bro, I'm learning a bunch of new words today. I've never said any of these words ever in my life. And raise them in an incubator. I know that. Nurturing butterflies from the caterpillar stage will increase this skill. I think that's really cool. I think that's giving kind of like Sims 2 free time vibes, because I think I remember you could have like an ant farm. So this to me is kind of like similar to that. And I also forgot to mention the archery skill isn't just locked to a child Sim. And I also heard you can use the bow and arrow to fish, which I honestly think is really cool. So if you want to like tell a story of you like living off the land, or again, maybe your Sim is just like really good with archery, you have the option to do that. And then we know about the diving skill. So again, from childs to elders, they can pick up like new tricks when they dive into the pool. I know I've seen some people kind of confused why we don't have like a swimming skill. So I don't know, it is kind of weird. And there's no new fears. Again, me personally, I think the fears and wants in this game are weak as hell. They're just not at the Sims 2 level, which is kind of funny to me, because like in my head I'm just like, I wish they can like refresh that, but that is a refresh of like the whims. I don't know, they have to refresh that refresh, because the fears and wants just suck. Now, reading the blog post, there's even more information on this pack. I'm just going to mention the new things because most of this we've already talked about in previous videos. Now, when you first get the pack, there are 3 getaways already available. So Camp Givey is a sleepaway camp for kids. Then we have the Revive and Thrive Fitness Retreat. And last, we have Love Highland, which is a romantic spot, but you can also do competitions there. So think like Love is Blind, Are You the One, or like Love Island. Now, they mentioned custom venues that you can create. You as a player can decide what activities and roles. So you can have a camp counselor or like a fitness instructor, and you can also download custom venues from other simmers in the gallery. I'm pretty sure the gallery is like broken right now, but yeah. Then they mention rules. So I'm actually going to read this one just so we can have a full understanding. So they say add variety, competition, and more. They say rules can deepen the getaway experience. There are 3 types: elimination, shuffle, and modifier. Elimination rules can be based on a skill or relationship gains, or on your choice. And a fitness contest is sent with the least skill improvement is sent home at the end of each round.
What did he say?
We're boycotting, guys. We are boycotting, okay? Oh my god, my heart just stopped. God damn it. I'm so sorry. Listen, I'm getting, guys, listen, bro. Okay. Sorry, that was god damn it. Damn it. This whole thing is a toxic relationship, bro. We always say we're done and then we keep coming back. I'm not gonna lie, when I read the sent home part, my whole body just had like a reaction. It was like getting kissed on the neck, or like just drinking something cold that just hits. Like the sent home thing is just crazy. I think that's so cool. I'm sorry, I don't care. It's cool. We're still boycotting, but that is cool. Now, shuffle rules randomize activities based on a preset pool. There are 6 modifier rules that apply special conditions, like love is in the air makes romance bloom, and everyone hates each other makes friendships fail. So I'm a little bit confused, but from what I'm understanding, if you do like a, I guess, romance competition, but you add like everyone hates each other modifier, it kind of like adds a little spice to the competition to make things a little bit more difficult. Again, this is something I definitely need to see through gameplay. It's a little bit confusing, but I think that's a good thing because it does sound complex. So yeah, I know a lot of people are excited for the competitions, but again, we are boycotting. So yeah, I'm just gonna move on. Now, this next section is called childhood fun, with the first one talking about meaningful moments. It says child sims can have formative moments that provide lifelong benefits. There are 4 types of formative moment challenges. Twisted. You know what? I've been going on Google for every word since this video started. I'm just not gonna do it anymore. I don't care. Social independence and adventure. A child might take on a social challenge like be a joker and then advances faster as an entertainer when they grow up. Bro, why was this not in growing together? Bro, Sims team, why are you guys doing this, bro? All this stuff should have been in other packs. And can we also just remind ourselves that this and Horse Rancher are the same price? This is insane. The whole like class clown and then the sim becomes like an entertainer is such a relatable thing. Like that's actually insane. It says sims can also have long-term childhood sentiments about people they know, which may change over time. For example, they may pull a prank they find funny as a kid, then they feel guilty and apologize as an adult. And what? Oh my god, bro, this is crazy. There's no way. That's insane. I need to see this in gameplay. I need to see how this works. Guys, I'm going to be doing a review on this pack. I'm going to be testing all this stuff that they're advertising and see if it works. We're still boycotting, but like that's insane. So they do mention that's a new trait for kids called the scrappy trait. These sims may get competitive. And then they also mention a modular playground. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now moving on to the next tab, it says watery, fun, explore the water. So if there's water, you can paddle on it on your new kayak, go on any watery place you like and improve your fitness skill while you're at it. Sims can even stand up and fish while they're in their boats. Other ways to join the water include a water slide, diving board, and by waiting in for a special aquatic woohoo. So this was one of the things I was very disappointed in with the kayak gameplay, because I feel like we've already had this with, I don't know what they call them, but we had it in Island Living. It would be cool if they had another boat that fits more than one sim, just so we can like kind of do stuff together. I think that's the whole point of the pack, is to do things with like other sims. So I think this was a missed opportunity. I think the gameplay could have been way better, but they kind of missed out. So they mentioned the kayaks for adults, but kids can also use the kayaks too, just in case you guys didn't know that. Now with the new blender object, they say you can make refreshing smoothies, which can make your sims energize. You can make boosting protein smoothies, and for sims who are extra keen about getting pumped, can add meat, which is crazy. I don't know if people add meat to their smoothies, but that's a thing. But there's also some side effects like vomiting, so I'm assuming that's if you use meat. So we already know about the 3 new neighborhoods. I already talked about this in previous videos. Okay, so they mentioned new careers, and they say become a park worker. So it says choose a career working in the Majestic National Park. In this unpredictable line of work, your sim will leave at set times, but they may not come home at the end of the day. They may be gone for up to 3 days. 3 days is kind of crazy. What the hell are you doing at your job for 3 days? I guess it makes sense, but that's insane. I don't think there's ever been a job in Sims history that's made your sims like leave their house for 3 days. It said it's a big park. Park worker is a 10-level career that branches into park ranger and then camp counselor paths. Sims can start this career path as teens, though they won't be able to advance beyond level 5 until they age up. That's very interesting. So you can be a camp counselor from 18, but you won't get promoted past level 5 until they age up. So that's kind of cool. And I'm assuming this is obviously separate from being like a camp counselor guide from the getaways and stuff. So this is more of like a rabbit hole career. Now I can't find it, and if I do, I will add it on the screen. But I do remember there is some cross-pack gameplay as well. Again, I'm trying to look for it, but I just can't find it. But I know one of them was if you have Island Living, you can do like an off-grid survival type of competition. I think this was a typo, but they mentioned if you have like get together or growing together. I think it was a typo. I think they meant growing together. You can run like this child care babysitter thing. So that will be like the true babysitter experience compared to like businesses and hobbies. Again, there's some other ones there, but there was some cross-pack gameplay that I saw. I think it would be really cool if you have like high school years, you can make your own school or have like a private school. But yeah, the custom venues, the competitions, the coming of age features for the child sims is just insane to me. So there's a lot in this pack, guys. I can see why people are pre-ordering this pack, but again, guys, do not buy packs for a broken game. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on this. But yeah, if you guys made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. This has been your boy Superior Simmer. I hope you have a good day and take care.